Hey, welcome back to another video. I got something to tell y'all. Really something crazy to tell y'all. Now look, check this. Again, if you're suffering from depression, no one gives a fuck. I'm gonna say that every time. I'm gonna say that every time. Anyways, so today we're gonna react to Andrew triggers racist queen by refusing to fail for her victim, refusing to fall. I'm sorry, fail. I'm fucking up. Refusing to fall for her victim guard. All right, so let's see how this one goes. Subscribe, turn on post notifications, smash that like button up. Watch this video all the way through. Let's get it. Let's go. Now, before you hop in the fucking comments, watch the video all the way through because I may disagree and agree with parts of things that Andrew has to say. So before you act like a little pussy and hop in the comment section and get in your little feelings, just listen to everything I say before you jump into the comment section. Or you can hop in the comment section and do whatever you want. I don't care. You're driving the views anyway. Let's get it. Let's go. Okay. Let's go.
I would understand why someone might assume that sort of thing because historically, white people have been the most racist towards other races. Would I go on like an angry tangent because someone called me? No, I would calmly explain that that's not the situation.
Wait, question for you: do you think like American whites are more racist than like Japanese people?
Yes.
I don't know any. What do I know?
Yes.
But I'm.
You know what's really funny about the conversation?
You know, it's also funny is that you have to compare it to another racist ass group. You can't go like, whites aren't racist at all. You can't just straight say that. You have to be like, oh, well, I think Japanese people are a lot more racist than we are. We're racist as hell, but Japanese people are a lot worse. Shut your ass up.
Ultimately, what's hilarious about it?
It's so funny.
It is funny. Is that we're being charitable to your definition and trying to explore your definition, trying to make arguments as refutations to what you define racism as, trying to literally stay inside your worldview as we argue, right? But let me just ask you to do that in reverse. Be charitable towards us. Racism is just, I don't like a person based on their skin color. Based on that definition, if you're being charitable in my worldview,
sure.
Can black people be racist?
Absolutely. I'll interrupt. Absolutely. Absolutely. What does that have to fucking do with the fact that whites have a power imbalance, though? If black people had a power imbalance and they were being racist, that would be a problem. But whites have a power imbalance. They have more power than black people in this society. So through having more power, they can fire people for no reason, do whatever they want, just because they don't like you because of the color of your skin. That's the problem everybody's having. But can black people be racist? I ain't even going to jump into that conversation where people do that shit. Absolutely, black people can be racist. Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. I've seen it happen. And I've had an argument with plenty of I've had to argue with plenty of black people on TikTok about that conversation. Absolutely we can. Great comeback, Andrew. I actually like that comeback.
Hang on. Let me ask you the question again.
No.
Since we've been sitting here being super charitable to your worldview, to everything you had to say, within the confines of your worldview, contending with only that, with your definition, can you contend with ours? All racism is not liking somebody based on their skin color or treating them differently based on their skin color. That's what I think racism is.
Okay.
Using that definition, can white people be, or can black people be racist to white people?
Absolutely.
Can they or not?
Sure. Yeah. Nope.
Thank you, Lucy. Oh, Elm, still no?
Look, I'm gonna stand by my stance on no, because at the end of the day, like, you guys had, not you guys, I'm so sorry I'm saying you guys, which your
What do you
ancestors,
mean you guys?
You think like an Asian person?
What do you mean you people?
Because like I face racism every day.
I'm sure you do, which is like really, really upsetting.
You don't.
Every single day, for real. Everyone's saying I eat dogs and cats. It's crazy.
I was called a bed wench once. Like,
I face sexism every day.
Loosey goosey.
Now, the fact that Andrew is so dismissive on what she has to say is part of the reason why black people are upset. If she's fucking telling you that she's experiencing something, listen to the fact that she's experiencing something. And shut the fuck up. If you listen to that, and if you listen to what other people have to say, people will listen to you. Now no one gives a fuck. At this point, everybody's going to try to like morph Andrew into the racist category, which he probably is. But morph him into the racist category because you didn't want to listen to what she had to say. It's true. Everyday experiences in one way or another, we are experiencing racism. I experience it every single fucking day at my job in one way or a fucking another, or other places that I've fucking been. I experience it. When I'm around white people is when I'm experiencing it. All the fucking time though, I don't know about that, but all the time is not when I'm around white people. Like literally, when I'm around white people, they have one thing. Like I'm gonna be cautious when I say this, but I was at a certain place where they were talking about Juneteenth yesterday, right? And somebody was like, well, isn't that looking back on something bad? Who gives a fuck? It's the day we were liberated from slavery. So we want to talk about it. We want to have a day that's for us, right? But for some fucking reason, everybody else has a problem with it. We don't have a problem with any other fucking holiday. Christmas, Independence Day, when it didn't represent us, we don't have a problem with any. Memorial Day, we don't have a problem with none of those other fucking holidays. We have one holiday dedicated to us, and all of a sudden everybody has a fucking problem with it over remembering something negative. Fuck out of here. We experience it in one way or another.
Can you read this?
Check out the Barbary slave trade. Transatlantic slave trade is always talked about, not Africans enslaving Africans. Plus, 8% of the world is white, the global minority. Google it. Black, brown, and yellow are the majority. Always the victim, never their fault.
Yo, John, thank you for the soup chat. I do appreciate it. That is a good point. Whites were definitely victims of slavery.
And no one cares. No one cares about the transatlantic slave trade just as much as they don't care about the barbarian slave trade. That's not the problem. I'm telling you, like, the argument is not what happened. Slavery was a problem, but it's not the big problem. The big problem is what happened after slavery. After slavery in this country. Think about it. 1865 is when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. I said this before. And Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1865. In 1965, they had to sign the Civil Rights Act. Ask your fucking selves before y'all up in the comment section acting like little whiny ass crybabies. Why? Why did they have to sign from 1865 to 1965? What was the point of signing the Civil Rights Act? What was going on? That's the problem. Slavery is not really the issue. Of course, a bunch of groups have been enslaved, 1000%. But it's how people were invited back into society after slavery. And I would go as far as to say, not just the African diaspora, but you can find other groups of people around the planet. Like, this is really hard, but because most white people, when they were integrated into society, were integrated fairly into society. It wasn't complicated, but I could say in Italy, they had a little problem in Italy, you know, when they freed their slaves, or Rome. It's really hard to find another group that was integrated into society complicated as the way black people were. Just saying, like.
Why are you rolling your eyes? Whoa.
Because I'm just so tired of everything.
Wow, you're rolling your eyes at white slavery? Imagine if you did that. Oh,
I mean, weren't you guys called indentured slaves to your own people in Britain?
Right now, for instance.
I already agreed with you. I said yes. And from your worldview, I can understand why you might think that.
Can you stop finger banging her over there, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Guys.
My bad.
Calm down.
I'll have to wait till after the podcast.
Yeah, calm down.
Yeah.
Right now, you would agree in some South African territories, blacks have institutional power and are running white farmers off their land. Yeah.
It's not true. That's not true. Fact check it. It's not true. Fact check it. Fact check it. He's already lying. Oh, he's about to lie. He's about to lie. He's about to lie. He's about to lie. More blacks have died in that process than whites, and it's not true. It is a talking point that Donald Trump is using to bring white farmers here for Elon Musk. It is not true. It is beyond reasonable doubt not true. Do your research before you fucking listen to this fucker.
That's a good thing.
It's not even true.
Donated $100. Chair 1,
So
whatever
you're just saying racism is
trailer
good?
park white trash place did your hippy-dippy whitewashed love come from? I know Chair 5 knows Kuma Billis with more sense. Feel hurt racism is universal.
Gooner Billy. I like Gooner Billy.
Yeah, Rage, appreciate it. You had something for her?
Duke, AEP, and AES custom.
I also want you guys to pay attention to how racist the comment section is going to be.
Yeah, I was just wondering, is that institutional power?
on my videos and hers. Like, no one's gonna have a decent conversation. It's all gonna be like, oh, get over it, quit being a victim. No one in the comments gonna be able to refute anything I'm saying and come live on Saturday and have a debate with me. No one is gonna do it. No one is gonna do it. And I'm one of the most fairest people ever when it comes to this type of conversation. I really am. I'm fair when it comes to this. But I guarantee you, in this comment section and in the many of the like chats that are gonna come up on this video, no one's gonna hop in the. No one's going to refute anything with a fair claim. It's just going to be, oh, stop crying. And the more y'all say that shit, the more you reject people's feelings, the longer it's going to continue to go on. Like, you gotta take people's feelings into consideration. What's going on in society to make people feel that way? Yeah.
Rephrase your question again.
These black governments that are running white farmers off their land, was that institutional power?
I mean, yeah.
That's another lie. Black governments. Is it the South African government? Or is it governments in that region? Because from my understanding, it's more of the governments that are unaliving their own people over in those regions. There's literally genocides going on in the Sudan and Libya. Like, literally. South Africans, from my understanding, only 59 died last year that were white. 1,000 that were black. Fact check that. Matter of fact, let's do it right now. Let's fact check it. How many white farmers I see it. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh my God. So, reported 32, right? 32 white farmers died from 2023 to 2024. It's like, it's 0.2% of the population of farmers. Total farmers unalive by race, 32 in 2024. 32, that's it. Estimated white farmers' death likely around 20 to 30, but there's no official confirmation. Share all violence farmers are 0% of the 20 to 25K total murders annually. 20 to 25K total murders annually, and there's 0.2% of those murders. And out of that is 32. So more blacks are dying in South Africa than whites. So like let's keep going with this bullshit ass statement.
So were they racist?
I mean, no. I mean, it's from a historical.
Was that harmful?
Fact check.
Okay, but was it harmful for your ancestors to take my ancestors from their own motherland?
Girl, you don't gotta argue this point no more.
That's not harmful.
Well, wait.
That's not harmful. That like.
He's lying.
Hang on. Can you demonstrate any of my ancestors did that?
I don't know your ancestors.
Then why did you just say my ancestors did X?
I'm just your aunt.
That wasn't fair. That wasn't fair.
Yeah.
Okay, aren't you from America?
Well, no. Originally, all Americans have Western or Eastern European roots.
Okay, but where did your family come from?
Ireland and England.
Okay, and they came over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why does that mean they had a hand in the slave trade?
I would recommend doing a little DNA test to see if you had any like slave,
You're part white though. I think you should do a DNA test.
Well, hang on.
You got some.
I just want you to help me out with this. Hang on a second.
The argument even shouldn't be that on her end. What the argument should be is, do you benefit from everything that happened in that time period? Do you benefit from Jim Crow laws? Do you benefit from things that whites have set up in society to make it easier for you? It's why you argue forced doctrine. If you were black, you wouldn't believe this. Is the argument I make for Andrew. If he was black, he wouldn't argue forced doctrine in this country. He wouldn't argue it. He wouldn't argue it because he knows forced doctrine would mean putting black people back into a different spot than they were before. That's exactly what it would mean. People who would vote, the only people that would have the power to vote would be white males. That's literally why you want forced doctrine. I would argue that point. You benefit from your ancestors and what your ancestors have done, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's just the rules of the world. But you wouldn't argue forced doctrine if you were black. That would be my argument for Andrew.
Brian, hang on. I just want to ask you this. Even if it was true, right,
This is
that
good.
the people group I come from was totally responsible for African slavery 100%. What the f- does that have to do with my ancestry being responsible for it?
Well, one is
Because you
Am I
benefit.
responsible for the sins of a nation?
But you are responsible for changing the way that how racism is viewed.
Exactly.
You have the power to sit here and to advocate for us as black
So do you.
people.
Exactly.
Well, we do that.
We're trying.
Exactly, and she
We're
is doing
trying
it.
every day. Like every day, we're trying. You don't
Yeah,
understand.
but what if
She
I
just tried right now, and you laughed at her for trying.
don't believe? What if what's going on here is I don't understand the logical consistency of saying racism is power plus prejudice, and then I give you a nation where it's
That
blacks.
wasn't the definition that we gave. That was the definition that Brian gave.
You gave it an additional qualifier, and the qualifier was stereotypes and harm. Okay, I'm going to add this qualifier in. I gave you a nation which white farmers being run off their land, the institutional powers with blacks. It's clearly harmful. Clearly harmful to the whites to get run off their farms, and clearly stereotypical that they.
And keep in mind, it's funny, I don't think he knows this part either. Those whites, they're like what? I think 1 to 2% of the population. Do the research. They're a small percentage of the population, and they own almost 80 to 70% of the land. So the South African government is like, this is ridiculous. Why are you like, what the hell? You guys colonized this area. You didn't earn this land. You stole it. So it's like, hold on, wait a minute. We're trying to fair up the game and give land back to the people in there. Like, and even within that, the South African government has to appeal to us, America, in order to make it even happen. They're going like, what the heck? Because we're cutting off funding to them now because they're trying to get the land back that those people came in and stole, and then told the black people, because they also apartheid that region, is what people don't know. They apartheid the region, then told the black people, you can't have any land here at all. And the South African government is like, no, you can't do that. You can't segregate people. We can have the land just as well as you can have the land. That's what's going on. That's literally what's going on. This dude is just fucking lying. Like, straightforward.
Need to be.
I mean, are they
This fits every single criteria you both agreed to
But
for
are they
racism.
calling them porch monkeys?
No,
Are
they call
calling
them worse
the
things. They call
N-words?
them
Are they
even
calling them
worse
mother
slurs,
truckers?
and they fucking kill them.
Are they making their mothers and their
They
sons
kill them.
get together and
They kill them. Tell me.
Fact checked everything. None of it's true.
My ancestors
Give me
were
anything
killed as
worse than
well.
death. Give me anything
My
worse than
ancestors
death.
were killed as
Give me
well.
anything worse than death.
My ancestors were killed as well.
Can you give me anything
My
worse than death?
ancestors had to literally were coming from the
I'm not talking about my ancestors. I'm talking about what's happening right now.
You could have been an advocate back in the time
Are
when.
you going to ever answer my question?
What was your question?
Okay, so real quick. Is there anything worse than death?
There's nothing worse than that. I
Okay,
mean,
great.
actually, no, there is
Done.
afterlife. Afterlife. It's the afterlife.
Yeah, great. Okay, so there's nothing worse than death.
No, there is.
These people are being killed right now. They're being killed by black governments. They're getting run off their properties by black governments. Hang on. And the black governments are stereotyping them as being evil because they're white.
Okay,
Are
and what
they
about
at least racist? Are those
and what about the police taking black men
Oh,
off
just
the
concede,
streets
just concede.
and
We're talking-
doing gangs and putting guns into our community?
You're talking
and,
about-
She's
and-
making a pointless argument. I'm fair.
I'm not,
Yo, Chad, is she trolling, bro?
I'm not
She
even
has to be
trolling.
trolled.
I'm just.
She's
This is just.
trolling.
This is coming from
Okay.
a place of like hurt.
I'm going to engage.
This is.
I'm
this
going
is
to
coming-
engage.
this is coming from a
Where
place-
is the nation of the United States?
Pray the chat for
Do you know there are sundown towns?
Hang on.
Do you know that there are
Do you know
still
what?
sundown
Do
towns?
you know what the United States is, and do you know what the country of Africa is? They're two different countries, right?
Yeah, and you.
Hang on,
take
stop. I
resources.
just want to make sure. Is the
Yes.
United States a different country than Africa?
Of course, there's.
Well, they're not really. They're different
You got
continents.
land,
But
where are
anyway,
you at?
are they different continents? North America and Africa? Are they different continents?
They are, but that
Okay,
still
great.
doesn't negate
Stop,
the fact
stop,
that-
stop.
What are the 7 continents? Like, can we ask her what?
Yeah,
name the 7
Africa, America, Canada.
continents? Wait, keep it. Yeah.
Canada.
You got
Canada is a continent.
keep going, keep going.
America is a continent.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Keep going.
keep going.
Africa is a
Keep
continent.
going.
Yep, keep going.
Asia is a continent.
Yeah.
Antarctica is a continent.
Yep.
Alaska is a state. There's 2 more.
Europe.
Russia is a continent.
Yeah. Keep going.
And I said Asia.
Asia.
There's 1 more.
Well, yep. Last one.
Europe.
Australia.
I don't know, Andrew. If she can't name, if she thinks Canada. and
No, Russia.
Russia. She said Canada and Russia.
Russia. Russia's a
don't
continent,
know.
stupid.
I don't know if she has the requisite geographic understand. I don't know if
She got most of them right. She just missed Europe. That's it.
And a continent and
No.
Russia is
Wait,
a
can
continent.
you name 3 countries.
3 countries?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. There is 3 countries. I'm gonna name the countries in Africa, actually.
Yes.
Cameroon.
Yeah.
Nigeria.
Whoa.
Yes, that's a country. And let me see, Cape Cod.
That is in New England, but good job. You did.
Oh, Cape Cod is not in. Oh, no.
She didn't know her stuff. That's all, man. Oh my God. Yeah, they tried to embarrass her at the end of that stuff, but that's irrelevant to the conversation. If what's happening in South Africa was actually what was happening, what the news was reporting, then for sure that would be fucking horrible. But that's not what's happening in South Africa. They're not reporting it correctly. Now, if there was a genocide going on of white people, I, for all people, would be advocating for it. I'd say, hey, we can pull those people out of there. That's not what happened. It's not what's happening. It's just not. Like, I'm looking, and I looked deep into it when Trump said it. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. I believed Trump when he said it. I was like, well, let me look into that, because that's really fucked up to be doing that. No, not at all. You guys just heard the data. 32 out of 23 and 24. 2023 and 2024, 32 white people have died at the most. To the 20,000 to 25,000 that are unalive daily that are black, man. Stop with the bullshit. I'm out. Peace.